for your hips and your lower back. Most of the world has lower back problems. About 80% of the world has some type of lower back issue. So it's really important that we address this at some point and that you take care of it if you haven't already. So some of the reasons why it's really important to stretch in general is it's going to help your circulation. It's going to help your nutrient delivery if you're helping overall blood circulation. It's going to help increase your range of motion on your repetitions on any exercise that you're doing. If you're doing sports, it's going to help you prevent injury. And it's also going to make it so when you do your lifts that you have the potential to recruit more muscle fiber as well. So what I'm going to do right now is just a few simple hip stretches. We might get a little bit more complex as we go into them, but we're going to start really simple. Here's one thing I like to do with anyone and everyone, if you can do it, is just find a seat. You're just going to bring your leg over, just like you're hanging out. Just putting this ankle right up on the opposite knee. And you're just going to sit nice and tall, squeezing your abdomen if you need to. If you feel yourself start to sludge, stay tall. And you're just going to lean forward just slightly while staying tall. And you're going to feel that right back in that hip. I'm going to feel my glute and that hip joint right over there. Some things that you can do if this is too easy is you can pull up on this knee a little bit or pull this leg in. Some of the techniques I use, I'll actually reach under and I'll pull that leg up just like that. Or I'll reach over my shin and I'll start to pull back a little bit as well. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. From there, what we're going to do is just the most basic lower back stretch there is just touching your toes, but we're going to keep the knees slightly bent. So all you're going to do is just reach down, touch your toes, keep those knees bent a little bit. It's important that from here that you keep your chin tucked in all the way. I'm going to tuck my chin in as I touch my toes. So I'm feeling that all up along here in my lower lumbar spine. It's crucial that you do things like this just to keep the blood flowing, because there's a lot of muscle fiber in the lower back, so it tends to get blood tends to get caught up in there once you start working it and once you're working out. Another stretch we can do, bring the right foot over the left, and you're going to try to touch the toes from there. You're going to engage a little bit more hamstrings here, a little bit more glutes. So you're just reaching all the way down. And for time's sake, I'm not going to hold these for the full 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Just going to hold them so you can see the stretch. We're not bouncing. I'm not bouncing through this stretch. I don't want to pull. I don't want to strain my muscle. I just want to stretch it. Another thing to keep in mind when you're stretching, you should feel it. It might be a little bit of pain. There shouldn't be a lot of pain. You can overstretch. There is a such thing as overstretching, which will be you'll actually be sore as if you were just doing an intense lifting session from the day before. If you do that, you've done too much. So make sure you do everything relatively easily. Not relatively easy. I mean, push yourself. Just don't push it too hard when it comes to stretching. Another stretch that we'll do, I'll do with clients. Now, if you're heavier, older, or if you don't have a lot of range of motion in your hips, these are some things that you can try for hip stretches. So you can just start here, putting the ankle over the knee again, and then just trying to pull that leg up. If you need to, you can pull that leg up on your own, and you can fall back with it. And from there, you can pull that down. Now, if you can't get that stretch, one thing that you can do is you can keep one leg bent, and with your momentum, you can kind of throw that leg up on there. And from there, again, if you can't reach up there, you can pull it down. Now, if you're really flexible and this doesn't do anything, like this doesn't do anything for me right now, what I can do again is pull that from this angle and start stretching the glute a little bit more, or reach over, pull that in, pull this other heel to my butt, and that will stretch me a lot better. Now from this angle, if I'm up here or right here, one thing I like to do is I'll start to bring my foot down, And I'll bring that stretch all the way to the ground over there. And I'll feel that through my lower back. So like I said, you're going to hold every stretch 30 to 60 seconds. If you really get comfortable, you can stretch for a little bit longer. I wouldn't recommend staying in the position longer than 3 to 5 to 10 minutes because you might get stuck like that. I don't know if you've ever sat in a chair for a long time or stayed in one position for a long time. Another thing we can do, actually a more advanced version of that, what I was just doing, that hip stretch, is actually sitting all the way up against the wall. And then, that butt doesn't want to stay. So sitting all the way up against the wall, and then trying this stretch. This is the one that I need to do, because I feel this a lot more. And it's okay if one side tends to feel tighter than the other. I know, actually this side is tighter for me, the right side. So you just might need to stretch that side a little more, that's all. It's going to happen. Just like when you lift, sometimes you have some imbalances. You want to approach them. You don't want to ignore the fact that there is an imbalance, especially if it's drastic. Another basic stretch I like to do. Just cross those legs. Just going to reach all the way up front. Hands flat on the ground. Get those palms flat. A lot of people just reach. Put your palms flat. And tuck your chin all the way in. Again, always holding those stretches. From there, I'll actually keep this hand out front, and I'll put the right hand over to the side, and I'll tuck my chin all the way down, with my nose into my knee. And that way, sometimes I'll feel the backside of my neck as well. It's okay if I'm stretching cervical to thoracic to lower lumbar. I want to stretch the whole spine as well, but the focus here is mostly lumbar to lower back. Again, so the progression here, I'll start here, I'll go to here, and then my final progression on this will be coming all the way over with both hands, and then again, tucking my chin down. Those are some basic stretches you guys can start doing on your own. We'll post up more at some point. When it comes to stretching, the world is endless, just like everything else in exercise and fitness. So try some of those stretches. I hope you enjoy them. There's more stuff coming soon, so stay tuned, guys. Boom.